What is up, Misfits and Moonbasers? It's your boy Ray Recall again, coming at you with another video review. Don't mind the weird backdrop. I'm literally having to film this on the floor since I don't really have a recording setup like I used to. Not that it was a good setup to begin with, but I'm still just working through some stuff, so just bear with the background. Okay, so anyway, moving right along, we're gonna get into a video review today. Something, well, if you read the title, you already know what it's gonna be. So, this has been something I've been looking forward to since last year. So, without any further ado, may I present to you Astrotrain. Anyway, before I get copyrighted on that, so yeah, this is gonna be Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Astrotrain. I never saw the Siege version, but this one was the one that was available, and honestly, as long as I have it, it works. I mean, it seems like it should have been in the Siege anyway, because as you can see, a little bit of a hint with the tinder box. It's got little clips for certain cross-compatibility gimmick that we'll get into in a little bit. But as far as I know, these are literally the exact same figure as the Siege one. So if you're thinking about getting either one of those, if you see the Earthrise one and you never had the Siege one, or if you see the Siege one but not sure about the Earthrise one, they're both the same, pretty much. I will say that Earthrise does come with the whatchamacallit, the little galaxy map or whatever, star map. It's going to be the backdrop insert. I don't have mine with me right now, but it does show like a piece to, I think, Caminus. So yeah, if you want to get, like, to cut out the star map and have like a whole shebang, you'd want to get the Earthrise figure. But anyway, enough talking about talking. Let's get into the actual figure itself. So this is going to be his train mode, obviously, and it's pretty good. It's a nice big size, you know. Not sure what the exact length is on this, but just to give you a little example of how big he is, here's my laptop, and he pretty much fits on my laptop, so about a good foot long. And he is a really nice figure. He's a nice sturdy figure. Transformed this guy back and forth once or twice, and I'm liking what it's putting down. So for size comparison, here he is with Siege Leader Class Shockwave. As you can see, quite a bit longer in comparison. And yeah. Now this is him, as you can see, with his full length mode. The actual figure itself is this part. What they've done with this is that kind of like what they did in Siege, is that there's a main figure and a bunch of accessories. So if you just pop this, actually in there pretty tight. Either I need to work out or that connection's way too tight. But as you can see, there's the back of the train mode. It's got the 3 thrusters, and these are each 5mm ports, so you know you can stick the wide end blast effects into them. You know, if you have the Target Master ones, you could stick their little blast beam effects in there. That looks pretty cool. And you can also stick the back ends of guns in there too if you want to do that. But yeah, so this is going to be his accessory box, and it doesn't look like much right now, but if you open it up, you see that he has weapons inside. So just to open that up, and as you can see, he's got a whole bunch of guns. So you can take these out. And we'll get into these guns just a little bit, and then you can take this and close it back up like so, like so. I said like so. There we go. There you go. And that works on its own. It's got little rolling wheels on the bottom. Single rolling coaster here and 2 little caster wheels there. He also has some up top, but we'll get into that later. So, yeah, you get a whole bunch of guns. You get one of these, which is a big old Gatling gun looking thing, bit of missile spam, and then 2 of these rifles. And as you can see, they only have the peg on the bottom and then on the one side, so they're mirrored. And then according to the instructions, what you do... Now, this guy has tons of weapon ports all over him, but as per the instructions, what you're supposed to do is take missile spam, plug that the right way up top. Big old Gatling gun, want to plug that in right there. Take this beam rifle, I guess you would call it, plug it in right there, and then plug these on the sides here, and they should go in. Greatest of ease. Greatest of ease. Come on, there we go. Yeah. And then you just line up these 3 ports, these 3 posts. I'm not going to put it in all the way this time. There we go. And you have a combat train. Nice. So, anyway. But yeah, you can put those weapons, you know, anywhere that he's got weapon ports. On the train mode, he only has them up here and up here. Doesn't really have them anywhere else. Hi, visible head syndrome. But yeah. Oh, and one final comparison in this mode, here he is with the un-armored up Shockwave. As you can see, that's much more comparable. So he is basically the basic figure is a very chunky Voyager. And as compared to Shockwave, he is pretty chunky. So, there you have that. Now, to get him into his next mode, his shuttle mode, there's a few steps to do. Basically, come right here and lift this panel up. That'll free up this little tab, allowing you to swing the rails, or the wheels back. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned this, he's got, these are rolling wheels, these are rolling wheels, these are rolling wheels, and yeah, so he's got, oh, right back here is also rolling wheels. So in train mode, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of rolling wheels, so that's good. Anyway, you want to bring this back, and bring this up, and just leave it out for now. Let's see, yeah, let's work on the front part first. So do the same thing on the other side. Come to here, and then this whole panel section, as you can see, will just kind of slide off to the side, split down the middle, and this, be very careful with that. There we go. I don't know how well you can see it. This purple piece right here is on a slider. I don't know if you can see that in there. So you want to take this and slide it up like that until it clicks into place. And if you look on the inside, you'll see where that little slider is. Take the little smokestack and the headlight, just flip that back. Do the same thing on the other side. I'll let you take a look at that little slider piece. There you go. That's how you know that it's secure. And then push that back in there. There you go. Oh, needs to click. This clicks like twice whenever you're pushing it back. Take this section, rotate it around like so, and then close it back up. And as you can see, that's the cockpit for the shuttle mode. And then you're going to take these and return them back to where they were. They're just going to situate themselves like so, and sandwich all that together like so. And then you want to take these and then bring them so that this this tab goes into this bottom port right there. So like that, because these are on a little rocker like this. So whenever you close it up, make sure that it goes into this hole, not this one. There you go. And I'll just kind of sandwich together. Next, come to the back, flip these panels down and the wings out. Panel down, wing out. Right here, you want to lift. Oh, I did that wrong. Hang on. Leave these open. Open up these panels, and then take this section and lift it. It's fighting me for some reason. Oh, yeah. Come to the side. These little panels, bring them out like so, and flip this whole section back. Then you can bring these two panels, flip them back down. They will click into place, and then just seal off the main fuselage. There you go. Now come to this thruster section back here and just open it up just like that. And whenever you're flipping up the tail fin, if you notice, there's this little groove right there that'll go in between the arms. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's actually tabs. But if you go down there, see, it kind of splits them apart a little bit, and then they just kind of wrap around like that. And then holding these together, put this thruster section back, and it will lock those into place so that the little tail fin doesn't go flying. And then just bring these sections down to the side, like so. And there you have the shuttle mode complete. Let's see. It does have some of the whatchamacallit, callbacks to the Siege line, where it has some of that. I don't know how well it's coming off on camera, but you can see some of the little Siege damage effect paint on it. I don't mind it. It just makes it look a little bit like it's been used and stuff like that. Yeah, and I really like the shuttle mode. Just a quick size comparison, again, with the unarmored up Shockwave, like so. And this has a much more, it's not as coherent an alt mode. As you can see, there's a few gaps along the top. It does have a little, it's got a pretty clean underside, honestly. You can see there's a little port right there for you to hang it or set up on a little display stand or whatever. And as you can see, there's a lot more weapon ports in this mode. There's one up here, one here, same on the other side. And, oh yeah, two back there. And of course the 3 thrusters, so you can plug in blast effects like such. This mode does actually have a few splatterings of those little 3mm blast effect ports, so, or you can plug them in like that. So they're pretty cool. I guess the train mode had them too, because you can see there's some right there. But yeah. Now, as for accessories on this, there are ways to take the guns and plug them into the shuttle mode. So first you take a little missile spam, pop that on like that. Let's get these other weapons off of here. take the Gatling gun and the beam rifle looking one, stick those on like that, and then you want to take the two mirrored guns and attach them like so. And that looks a bit overkill, but hey. And you can rearrange these because, like I said, you know, you have 5mm ports all over the place. It's your figure, display it however you want. That's how the instructions say. Like so. Now, as for the tinderbox, there are two things you can do in shuttle mode. First one that you can do, so you want to take it, open it up, let's see here, fold this all the way down flat and then bring these to the sides so that you have this kind of platform like so. And then you can take the shuttle and just have it displayed like that, which is pretty neat, you know. Kind of cool lying down display, so it's not just on the ground. Oh yeah, you do have rolling wheels in this mode. These two roll. None of the others do, but at least you know you do have these two little nubs right back here, so that it's not just lopsided on the ground. Oops, got to remove that. That's cool, but the other thing you can do in this mode, which is a bit cooler, is you take this panel, bring it down. There are two tabs that'll go into slots right here and right here. So you just want to tab those in. Bring these off to the side, and then rotate this around like so, and then you get a space shuttle launch platform, which is pretty darn cool in my opinion. And of course, you know, you can put weapons in these little ports if you want and whatnot. Or, cool thing about the shuttle base is that, let me get this off there so you can take a closer look. It does have the clip system that is compatible with your Earthrise figures. I think it's called the airlock system. So you basically take this, these clips are open and these have little nubs, and you basically just align them, give them a little push, and now you have a ramp to another base if you so choose, which is pretty cool. Let me see if I can swap this around a little bit. There we go. So that way his feet aren't necessarily in the way. There we go. That's a little bit more flush. So that looks a little bit more like a ramp. And then if you have another Earthrise figure, you can like take one of the Airwave or Ironworks or whatever. You can just plug them onto that. So you have like a little city thing going. Also, that works. And the Earthrise clip system also works with Siege Omega Supreme as well. So yeah. Just have that plugged on there. And honestly, I think this might be how I'm going to display him on my shelf. Yeah, it takes up a little bit of room, but it just looks awesome, in my opinion. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and get this tinderbox off to the side. And I guess the only thing left to do is go into robot mode. So once again, we're going to just start with the front and work our way back. So just take these, open them up, and by the way, these are on like a double hinge, so they do kind of go off to the side. Split the legs, and then bring these all the way down so that you get a foreleg. Come to right here to this panel, unpeg it. As you can see, there's a peg right here that goes into the porthole into the bottom of the foot. And as you can see, there's a little peg right here, port right there, pegs in. And then the final thing you want to do is you want to take this panel, angle it, and then you want to take this little tab right there and plug it into not this first hole, but the second hole back here, so that it plugs in like that. There you go. And now you have a leg all done. Same thing on the other side. And then reposition that. And then take these panels and flip them down like so. Coming to the top here, you take these two side panels right here and here. This one's a little bit harder to get out. Oops. Yeah, that connection's a little bit tight whenever it fits into there, but it's on a little popper, so it's all good. Take the thrusters and swing them down on this double hinge. And just tab them in like that. I do apologize if it's hard to see. I'll try to see if I can do anything in post about this, but don't really have editing software, so take the thrusters and the whole backpack assembly and just bring it down like so for now. Come up top, open this up, flip the tail fin down, and flip this whole section back into the body. Once again, tabbing these side panels into place. Take the arms, bring them down, they will clip in. Take the arms, and as you can see, they're kind of tabbed in. So there's a tab that'll go into a slot right there whenever you're going back into alt mode. Extend them, flip out the wrist, or flip out the fist, and reorient the arm. Same thing on the other side. Extend, flip out the fist. And then finally, on this double hinge, you want to bring the backpack down, and it'll just lock into place, like so. And there you have Earthrise Astrotrain in his robot mode. And he is a pretty decently sized figure. Pretty good looking figure as well. Here he is next to Leader Shockwave, unarmored, and since he's the only deluxe figure I have on hand, here he is with Titan's Return Cup. So, he's a pretty decent sized figure. Let's see, articulation wise, his head is on a bit of a ball joint. He can look up that far, down that far, left and right. Arms could do a full 360 if the wings weren't in the way. Arms go out that far only, so it's not exactly all the way out. Bicep rotation, double jointed elbow, some up and down at the wrist, waist rotation, which is amazing. Legs can go out that far. Front skirts can move out of the way so the legs can go forward that far. Back, not much. Do have a pretty deep knee bend. It's not exactly 90 degrees, but it's still pretty good. Tight thigh rotation, and nice ankle tilt. So yeah, there's that. Now, he can do a few things with his accessories. You know, he can still use his rocket base to hold all the whatnot, and you can put all of his weapons back in there. Or you can do a few other things. Let's see. One, you can take his weapons, you know, you can armor him up. You know, he's got weapon ports 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you have a weaponizer, you can load him up. Another thing you can do with the weapons is if you take the, which one was it? Kind of particle cannon looking one. And then you take the missile rack, you plug those together like so. Take the Gatling gun and plug it into the back of the particle cannon, like that. See? And then you take the 2 side guns and plug them into either side of the Gatling gun. Kind of straighten everything out, like so. You get a BFG. That's not what they call it. They don't actually have a word for it, but that's what I'm calling it, because I mean, what else do you call this? So that's what you can do with his guns. And then if you bring in the rest of the trailer, let's see. It wants you to first take this section and pull it off. This one's on pretty tight. One thing about this figure is that some parts are kind of loose, some parts are kind of tight. I'm not sure which is which. Take these little coasters, these little wheels, and just push them in. And then take these and attach them to the bottoms of his feet. So these will kind of give him a little bit of extra height. Not much, but it's still something. And then as for this thing, what they tell you to do in the instructions is to take this piece, rotate it around, and tab it in to the back, like so. Then you take this part, fold it up like you would the tinderbox, and then you come to the back and just plug it in. And honestly, in my opinion, that looks a little stupid. That's how the instructions want you to do it. There is another way to do it though, and I'll show you. So you basically open it back up, take this panel, rotate it back around, kind of like how you would have it in the shuttle launch mode. And you take these and kind of display them up. Bring this down and plug that in. And yeah, I had it like this. Now it kind of looks like he's got a satellite array coming out of his back. Honestly, it's not much better, but at least it's something. Instead of him just having an open box on his back. But for this review, we're just going to show you and keep them displayed, you know, how it says, as per the instructions. If you can find a better way, more power to you. So there you go. And there's a final comparison. Here he is with Siege Shockwave in his armored up mode, which, if you ask me, is a bit more impressive than moon boots and a big gun and a not even backpack, but it is what it is. So yeah, there you have it. This has been the review for Transformers Earthrise Leader Class Astrotrain. Pretty good figure, in my opinion. I'm personally glad I got this. Like I said, the shuttle mode with the base and everything, that's the main draw for me. Or that was the main draw for me for this figure. The other stuff, You know, the train mode with the tinderbox is pretty cool. Robot mode, you know, oops, that came unpegged. Robot mode it's decent. I mean, I've had a few Astrotrains over the years. I had the Classics one, which I think is still a close second as a favorite. I'm really liking this one, but I definitely like him better than the Titans Return version. But if I'm being honest, it really, honestly, it this works fine, especially with the big gun. I like it. If I have to say one way or the other, if I like this figure, don't like this figure, I like this figure. So if you see them in stores, if you can manage to go out into the stores, go ahead and pick this guy up. If you have the choice between the Siege version and the Earthrise version, I personally would go for the Earthrise version because then you get the little piece of the star map or whatever. I do want to end up getting as many of those as I can. I'll cut them out and try to make a poster. That would be pretty neat. But yeah, so there you go. Once again, this has been the Transformers Earthrise Leader Class Astrotrain. I have been Ray Recall. Y'all have been awesome. And I did also pick up another figure. Won't be reviewing it for a while though until I have the last one of the set. Hint, hint. But as I get more figures, if I get more figures because of this outbreak, but the more figures that I get, whenever I get to them, or whenever I get them, I will try to review them, and then I might have something nice at the end of April for you, possibly, hopefully, fingers crossed. So, anyway, I think I've rambled for about long enough. So this has been Ray Recall. That is Astrotrain. Y'all have been awesome, and I will see y'all in the next video review. Thank you so much, and peace.